We're going to throw over to Roger now, who has an amazing guest with a phenomenal story. Roger?
Indeed, Terry. It looks like it was straight from an action movie. Two men trapped in a rapidly flooding elevator, just inches of air left. They're then rescued by two courageous police officers. Now, that's what happened to Klever Freire and Gabriel Otrin during Tuesday's torrential rainstorm. Klever is here to give us an account of this incredible rescue and frightening situation for you. Klever, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Roger. I think first I'd just like to say thank you to Officer Barnett and McSweeney for coming to our rescue, and Toronto Police Services for going out of their way.
I can only imagine their voices must have been sweet to hear on the other side of the door.
Yeah,
when you were at that point.
We were happy to hear the clanking and banging of other people at that point because we weren't sure if anybody knew that we were down there.
So what happened? You were on the elevator with Gabriel, and what happened? Did it go down? Were you going to your car?
We just received a notification that the basement might be a bit flooded and we should take our vehicles out, and so took the elevator down to the basement level. And as soon as we got to the basement level, water started gushing in, and it was like there was a fire hose on at the bottom of the elevator, and it was just starting to pour in.
It filled up. It filled up that quickly. It
filled up very, very quickly at the beginning, and at first we didn't want to admit that there was a situation there that the water wasn't going to stop. We thought maybe there's a foot of water at worst.
And were you joking about it at the time? You're thinking you're getting wet shoes?
I think we were annoyed about it at first. We were joking, laughing about something until the water started coming in, and then it got serious very quickly.
And what did you do? What was going through your mind as you're trying to figure out what do you do? You're in a box, and water's filling up the box.
We try to keep our heads cool at the beginning, and we were looking around for any emergency guidance, some sort of plaque that would tell you what to do, but there wasn't really anything except an emergency button and telephone button. We pressed those. However, as soon as we got onto the line with somebody, finally, the speaker was submerged in the water.
Oh my goodness! So you couldn't even hear what they were saying.
Well, the entire conversation just cut out at that point.
And now you see in all those action movies, there's always the escape hatch on the top of the elevator. Did you try and look for something like that? Was there any?
Well, we had a moment of self-realization, I think, at that point, understanding that our lives were actually in danger. At first, you don't want to admit it. And then we started looking for a solution out of there. Gabriel he took a moment to pray and calm himself down, and I remember reflecting about things I could have done differently that day. And then we started just focusing on trying to find a way out and knowing that we're not going to die there.
But you were prepared, though, for the possibility you might end up dying in this elevator.
I was for a moment, and then I remember looking around at the water rising, mucky, dirty, brown water, a bunch of garbage in it as well, seeping in, and I decided that that's not how I was going to die. And I think at that moment we both we decided we were going to do whatever we had to do.
And you heard the police. How'd you feel when you heard them banging on the other side there?
That was the first moment of relief that I think that we had the entire time. There were so many unlikely things that happened in order for us to get into that situation, and there were just as many unlikely things that happened that got us out. We had no cell signal. We had to pound through the roof. I used to joke about the day that science would save our lives, and we knew that the only way that we were going to get cell signals if we tried to break a hole into the top of the elevator.
Yeah. And when they got the door open, did you give these guys a big hug?
I remember I don't remember any words coming out of my mouth or even thinking them. I hugged one of the guys officers that got us out, and I just remember being extremely happy, grateful that I knew that we were going to be okay.
I bet. And because you're okay and because of that experience, we bought you a lottery ticket. All right?
Thank you.
We get our money back if you win, though, okay? And share it with those police officers and Gabriel as well.
Give it to them.
Thank you very much for coming in. So glad you're safe. We appreciate you coming in today.